I hope I'm in frame. I just get worried in these things. You know, am I too far over? I got no monitor here because I'm using this old RCA camcorder from '95, so whatever. All right, so today I am here to discuss VHS Viral. Now this is when the series sort of forks off, at least for this, because even though I didn't love 94 and 99, I did feel that they attempted to sort of reel the series back in and put them back into the same category as the first and second one. And Viral just kind of just flew off the handle and went sort of ultra modern, and like VHS doesn't really have a lot to do with it anymore. It's more just digital shit. Whereas you could argue the same thing happened with the second one. It felt like a VHS. This feels like it's not VHS. It's like, you know, AVI or MP4. And my two favorite segments here are the scientist dude. Well, what the fuck is the name of it? Jesus Christ. You'd think, again, that like, wow, I would totally be prepared for this. And there's VHS Viral. The first segment, where is it? Here. Yeah, that's it. The first segment was Dante the Great, about the guy with the cape, the magician. And whereas that felt less horror and more action movie with horror elements, I still really liked it. I liked how he was like nobody living in a trailer park and didn't have a pot to piss in. And then he gets a hold of this cape and he becomes this massive sort of David Blaine, Chris Angel level successful magician, illusionist. But it's not an illusion. It might be magic, but it's more just the fact that the cloak is a demon. And he has to feed it people in order to keep the magic coming out of it so that he can wow the crowds. And it turns into this big thing with the police, and they're coming for him, but how can they when he's got this sort of like superhero cape that keeps him free and clear of any problems and allows him to warp from A to B. And I thought it was a lot of fun, but again, Viral is sort of, it's more of like a science fiction vibe I get. Now, the second story, Parallel Monsters, where the dude has sort of rigged up this machine in his basement that allows him to step into an alternate reality on Earth, and he's really excited, and he goes through it, and then he meets himself, and he's like, oh my God, dude, you were doing it here too? And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, you should go in and talk to your wife. And he's like, you should go talk to your wife too. And so they sort of go into each other's houses. But the dude from our reality has no idea that the dude from the other reality is in some sort of normalized satanic society where nobody's quite human and their genitals do all sorts of scary fucking things. And he sees it immediately when he walks through. He's like, what the fuck is that picture on the wall? And it's like, is that a sacrifice or some type of ritual? What the fuck is going on here? And then him and his wife are supposed to bang, but she's got this big fucking thing, like this big, I don't know, her fucking snatch turns into this whole other thing there, you know? And it's like, Jesus Christ. And so he freaks out and he's like, holy fuck, my Earth wife. So he goes booking back through and she panics because the Satan, him with his big demon dick, tried to do things to her. And then she's like, holy shit. And she doesn't realize that her husband is a real husband. And so I thought it was clever because at the end of everything, the human dude comes back, and his wife is so traumatized by what Satan him tried to do to her that she butchers human him with a knife. And I thought it was a really fitting end. It's also, too, you know what? Seriously, you shouldn't be messing around with the parallel dimension thing. Not so much because you're going to end up in some sort of Go Team Satan Earth where they've got big satanic fucking Goodyear blimps flying around, lights on them and shit with giant inverted crosses and shit, but mainly because you end up in the fucking back rooms. I don't want to like glitch through the floor, like no code into a goddamn back rooms. That is just about the scariest thing I can think of. I'll take my chances in the satanic reality. I don't want any fucking part of the back rooms. And then the last segment, I think it's the last segment. Right? I think that's it. Fuck, I can't remember. The third, I think the last story, Jesus, it's been so long, you'd think I would have watched this again, but of course not. Bone Storm with the skaters. Now, here's the thing about that. Despite the fact that everything was very digital, and again, it left me feeling even more removed from the idea of this being recorded on a VHS-based camcorder. I remember when me and my friends were kids and we used to be skating all the time, we actually used to fantasize about some sort of, for us, it was a zombie outbreak where we could smash them all with our skateboards. And that is more or less exactly what happens in here, except they're not zombies. They're like skeletal bone things, and hence the name Bone Storm, where the skaters smash them all with their boards. And it was really cool, and it was like really exciting, and it was a really like enthralling way to sort of end the movie. I think that's how the movie ends, at least. Man, I've done so many of these, I'm just getting straight up lazy. Oh, motherfucker. I think that's how it ends, because then there's just the vicious circles, right? I think that's how it ends, right? Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. I loved Parallel Monsters. That was my absolute favorite one here. And then came Bone Storm. But this just feels like they sort of lost the plot. And like I said earlier, I don't love VHS 94 and 99, but they at least sort of pull it back to when VHS was still a thing, like when it was the standard that we had to deal with. You got to be kind and fucking rewind, you know? And Viral just completely lost the plot now. Parallel Monsters being as fun as it is, it's kind of forgivable, but this movie still feels off. So, yeah. So I'm going to leave it there. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for, a little over 7 minutes while I discussed VHS Viral, which, now that I think about it, the title doesn't even make sense. VHS and Viral. Viral is a social media sensation thing that happened as the result of all of us having Androids and iPhones. In VHS, there wasn't really any viral crazes during the VHS era. There would have just been mainstream successful crazes. Like, I think a viral VHS moment, if I had to pick one, would have been the bootleg of Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee's porn, the porno they made, kind of viral, because that got everywhere in an age before things went totally digital. But using VHS and the word viral beside each other just doesn't seem right, you know? It always seemed like when I was a kid and I had something that was sort of circulating underground on VHS, it was only because nobody could find a licensed copy to purchase. And then eventually they'd be able to, so they did, and then the bootleg VHS version that we had was tossed aside because the quality on the purchased VHS quality was that much better. And so, I don't know, using VHS and Viral, it works, and it doesn't work, just whatever. But yeah, I'm going to go. So thank you so much for hanging out with me again while I discuss VHS Viral. If you liked this review, like always, don't forget to do something nice for somebody, and don't forget that you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.